Hi guys, this is Ebru from Turkey. And today I'm here to share with you a top 10 list, top 10 most powerful women in sci-fi movies. In sci-fi movies, we usually see men in the front line. Like that has always been like that almost for years, almost for 100 years actually. But it started to change. How and when that started to happen? Let's see some powerful women characters in sci-fi movies and then talk about them together. Okay, our first powerful woman character in sci-fi movies is Maria from Metropolis. This movie was made in 1927 and it's a German production. It's a cult movie actually. In this cult German production, we see a dystopic world, like a futuristic city above the ground and underground there is a city for the workers and they live in like a hellish place. And that's how it is until young lad, a privileged lad, Freder, discovers the secrets of the underground world and then decides to do something about it. Then he meets a rebellious teacher, Maria. And then he has a conflict with his dad. His dad is a powerful man, of course. And then the two together work to change something. And as you watch the movie, even though it's a very old movie, you can really see how powerful the character is. Though she gets the power from her clone, a mechanical clone actually, but you can still sense the feeling of power radiating from her. I hope you watch and enjoy that. Number 2 is Barbarella. Barbarella is a movie made in 1968. That's a decade when feminist movement starts to take action and gradually gaining power in the society. And James Fonda chooses to play Barbarella at that time. Barbarella is not a real feministic icon, but she is kind of powerful. You can see that throughout the movie. It's more comedy than science fiction, but you still can see the main plot is all about science and space travel. She fights her enemies and she finds herself in tough situations, and every time she finds herself in such a situation, a man comes and rescues her. And as a way to thank that man, she has sex with that man, and that's where you can see her sexual power. You can see that she's sexually liberated woman. So that's kind of showing us that the world is changing. So if you watch it carefully, you can get the things out of it. You can understand what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. So it's a very good example of how the woman viewpoint changed throughout the time. Because before that, sexuality was a kind of taboo for women. And then she starts to live her sexuality however she likes with whoever she wants. From a man-like beast, a hair beast, to an angel wearing gold pants. So that's her life, her choice point. And I hope you watch and enjoy that movie too. I liked it a lot. It's really fun. Number 3, Lieutenant Nyota Uhura from Star Trek. I think most of you have seen that movie, but let's take a closer look at Nyota Uhura. She's an African American woman. So at a decade when people are fighting for civil rights, for basic human rights for different races, that is really a big step for a woman like her to be at the leading role. So that's a big step. That's a big success, actually. And you can see her role. She's responsible. She's taking important actions in the movie. And also she's entertaining the people on the crew. And also you can see that she's doing the first interracial kiss on the screen for that time. So that is another big step for us, for women, for African American people in America. So that's a must-see movie, and that is another really powerful woman and a powerful character in a movie. So I hope you watch and enjoy that too. And number 4 is Sarah Jane Smith from Doctor Who. We know that in the Doctor Who universe, in that movie and that series, a lot of companions the Doctor had. So picking just one of them is really hard part because we saw the bikini-clad babes and Amazonian warriors and punky adolescents and teens screaming throughout the movie or throughout the episode. So that is really interesting and a hard pick. But Sarah Jane Smith, played by Elizabeth Sladen, she really broke the damsel in distress mode in the series because she was a fierce journalist and she was like nosy. She was poking into everything, almost everything. So she was really powerful and she was really curious too. And then she wandered in TARDIS and we got to see one of the best couples in Doctor Who with Tom Baker as the Doctor and Elizabeth Sladen as Sarah Jane Smith. That was really enjoyable to watch and I really enjoyed that, just like most of you. But when you see that Sarah Jane Smith's power and you think that, yeah, woman can do almost anything and you are really proud of her as a woman when you watch that. Number 5 is Ripley from Alien movies made in 79, 86, 92 and 97. All of 4 movies are really great and you can see the Ripley's power in all of them, but we could not omit that character from this list because this character was nominated and voted for one of the most powerful characters in all times. So please respect her. And you know, the role was originally written for a man, but Weaver seized the part and she got the role. And she even got nominated for the Oscar reward. So that is really, really important. And I think if you haven't seen her performances, then you are missing out too much. Please go and watch her immediately. You will really enjoy it. Okay. Number 6 is Sarah Connor from The Terminator and The Terminator 2 from 1984 and 1991. So these 2 movies are really attracting the audience because of the interesting story, and we see Sarah Connor turning into a different character throughout the movies, like from a free LA girl to mother of a savior and a mom trying to save her son's destiny, and she rises to meet her enemies all the time again and again, and her enemies obviously the machines, and she's so powerful that her enemies can't be bargained or she cannot be matched. So that's really good to watch. That really gives the vibe of woman power. And she's the linchpin of these 2 movies. So in the second movie, you can see that she's the narrator of the movie. And I think she definitely earned that part as well. And that's a must watch too. If you haven't seen that movie for a while, or if you haven't seen it at all, you should give it a try or you should watch it again because it really gives you the energy to fight your own enemies as well. Okay, number 7 is Dana Scully from the X-Files TV series. Started from 1993 to 2002, and it was a long-term project, and it was really good to watch for almost a decade. Actually, yeah, for 9 years. That makes a decade almost. But the studio execs, the studio actually intended to make Scully as an eye candy in the series to keep the audience in front of the screen. But Chris Carter argued for Gillian Anderson because she was so good at her election and she was reading the rules so serious and stoic, and Chris Carter didn't accept any other eye candy options, So we watched Gillian Anderson. Okay, she was on covers for a long time, but in the series, she never got out of the series mood. So she was one of the most intelligent women we could see on the screen at that time. She had a degree in physics and she was a qualified doctor. So, okay, you can see her intelligence and her dominance in the series was really good to watch. And you could really get the powerful women vibe from her at every episode. And Fox Mulder, her partner, was a superstitious man. So he took the usually feminine part of the dialogues on himself, and that gave her more power in the series. So she was role model to most of us, most of little girls at that time. And actually, I was taking her as a role model too. I wanted to be as smart as her, and I want to be as powerful and successful as her. And here I am, kind of successful in my own area. But I think seeing such women on screen really helps us girls to develop our own character throughout time. And everything we see, we take some parts in our lives. So that's really important to have such characters on screen. So thanks, Dana Scully. Okay, number 8 is Kaylee Fry from Firefly TV series. It was a short-term TV series at first, but Kaylee is a standing out character in the... Okay, number 8 is Kaylee Fry from Firefly and Serenity. There are 2 series about her. And actually, there's more than one powerful woman character in that show. And of Malcolm Reynolds' crew on board, we have Zoe Washburn, Inara, and River Tam. They're all forceful and well-rounded characters. But Kaylee stands out because she has scrappy do-it-yourself capabilities, and she has shame-free lost appetite, and she's a little bit girlish naive, and that makes her particularly great among the other women. So we especially enjoy watching her throughout the series. And at first, when Reynolds first meets her, she's having her way with one of the crewmen, but she quickly proves herself to be useful and highly talented mechanic at the crew. So she goes from the floozy to a crew member in a blink of an eye. And I think you should give that a try to watch, because that was a really interesting part, and it was really good to see her act like that and really enjoyable. And it was kind of shocking at some scenes, like, oh no, not this time, you say, but you can have fun watching that. And you can see that most of the people say, girls can't do that, girls can't do this, blah, blah, blah. But at her, you can see girls can do anything. They can have fun, and they can do the men stuff, so-called men stuff, actually. So watch it, get inspired, and have fun. Number 9 is Kara Starbuck Trace. Kara Starbuck Trace is a character from Battlestar Galactica, and that is one of the most kick-ass characters in sci-fi universe at all time. And the role was actually a male character, and it was played by Dirk Benedict at 1970. But the reboot crew, the reboot producers, decided to make a gender swap like Ripley did, and then they auditioned Katie Sackhoff, and then she really killed the role. She really slayed it, we can say that. And she is really beautiful, and watching her in such a powerful role really inspires everybody to see what they can do actually. And of course, Dirk Benedict wasn't really happy about that, because he thought the role was his role originally, and that character should have been male at all times, at all costs. But we all accept that Kara Starbuck is really good in the new version, of course. Of course, we respect Dirk Benedict, and we understand that how he is upset about it. But giving a fresh look, giving a fresh weave to something is always good. And it really broadens your mind that how girls can be as effective as men at such roles like Kara Starbuck or Ripley. And I think that's a must-watch movie for everybody from all ages and all genders. Obviously, we cannot omit Jennifer Lawrence from this list. So number 10 is, of course, Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games. What else do you think? So Katniss Everdeen is the hero of a dystopian universe. You all know that. Even if you don't watch the movie, I think you all seen something and read about it. Maybe you have seen the movie or trailers or comments, or you read the book. Now, none of them matters. You can get the power from the Katniss Everdeen character. And Jennifer Lawrence really reflected that on the screen in the best way possible. Katniss Everdeen was a naive female character at the beginning. She's a teenage girl, and she is forced to fight against every kind of danger in the forest, in a dystopic forest. And you can see that she is vulnerable, and she has like the female strength and female vulnerability, and she can mingle the two strong aspects of her character in a really, really successful way. So that makes her extra powerful in the eyes of the audience. And there is a similarity between Katniss Everdeen and Maria from the Metropolis movie, because they become the proletarian uprisings symbol in the movie. So they start to change something, and you can see what one person can do in both of those movies. And the difference between the two of them is Maria gets her power from her mechanical clone, but Katniss gets her power from her arrow and bow, and she can use her physical strength to be the hero she is. So after this, I hope you go and watch that movie again and appreciate Jennifer Lawrence's the spectacular performance. And I hope you like this video as well. And I would appreciate if you leave some comments and subscribe to my channel. And I'd like to see what else would you like to watch in my channel, like which top 10 lists you want to watch, or what kind of movies should I comment on. I'll be here with the next video in a few days. So take care until then. See you in the comments.